Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something really powerful. It's a narrative called The Boy Who Chased the Sun. And it's more than just a story. We're going to unpack it, really dig into the lessons about resilience, about having a vision, and how one person can actually make a huge difference. Our mission really is to figure out how Aaron's journey facing these impossible odds, how his way of thinking, his dedication, can maybe give you a kind of blueprint for your own challenges, your own dreams.
Exactly. And it's fascinating because stories like this, they have a way of boiling down really complex human stuff into something universal. It might be a story, but the themes, perseverance, innovation, they echo things we see all the time in the real world. So we're looking for those insights, those little levers of change.
Okay, let's jump right in. Because the story starts with this really harsh judgment from everyone around him. Too small, too weak, too poor, just written off from the start. How does a big dream even start in a place like that? But right away, there's this contrast. He's got this inner spark, this dream as bright as the sun. And he has this ritual every evening, running barefoot, chasing the sunset. And the villagers, they laughed, asked him why. And he just says quietly, because one day I will catch it. And when I do, my whole world will shine. That feels like more than just a kid talking, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's pure intrinsic motivation right there. His drive, it wasn't coming from outside, not from rewards or what people thought. It was this internal thing, this conviction he had before anyone validated him. That's so key for resilience later on. It shows how real ambition often starts, quietly, just a personal quest. He knew his why before anyone else got it.
So he has this inner light, this vision. But his day-to-day life, wow, it was tough. Father gone, mother working nonstop, often hungry. School wasn't much better, no books, no lunch sometimes, worn out shoes. And that had a social cost, right? The other kids mocked him, telling him stuff like dreams don't feed you, dreams don't make you strong. I mean, that's rough. But somehow he kept this inner fire going, secretly studying scraps of paper, drawing the sun, writing his dreams by candlelight. How does someone do that?
That's the fascinating part. It's like adversity became his forge, not just something that crushed him. What he did, maybe without even realizing it fully, was create these little sanctuaries for his dream. Those scraps, the drawing, the writing, they weren't just passing time. They were deliberate acts of reinforcing his own belief. When the outside world gives you nothing, or worse, is hostile, you have to build your own feedback loop, even a tiny one. It's about managing your focus, right? Protecting that dream from all the noise, building a private space for it.
And that inner fire, that private space, it got put to a major test. There was this news, a contest in the city for young inventors, big prize, scholarship, a way out of poverty. And Arena immediately thought, this is it. This is how I catch the sun. This was his moment. So he threw himself into it, built this machine from, junk, basically. Broken glass, old wood, rusty metal, designed to capture sunlight in jars. He brings it to the contest, nervous, hopeful. And the result, utterly devastating. The judges actually laughed, mocked his crooked glass, his flickering light, said it was no invention, nothing. The script says, Aaron's dream shattered, publicly crushed.
Yeah, and that moment, it's almost a classic inventor setback, isn't it? It forces a really important distinction. Was it a failure of the vision itself, or a failure of, let's say, execution or presentation at that specific moment? His core idea, harnessing sunlight, was brilliant, even if the machine was crude. But the judges, they were looking for something polished, maybe something market-ready. It highlights that danger of seeking validation too early. Sometimes an idea just needs time, needs space to grow before it's ready for that kind of scrutiny. It wasn't necessarily that the idea was wrong, just the timing, the context.
And that rejection hit him hard, really hard. The story says, for days he did not eat. For nights he did not dream. Just empty, broken, like that fire was finally out. But then his mother, such a simple, powerful moment. She comes to him gently and says these words, Erelin, the sun rises every day, even after the darkest night, and so must you. And those words, they lit a spark inside him again. Was it just the words themselves?
I think it's more than just the words. It's about having that anchor, someone who believes in your resilience, even when you don't. She didn't offer a technical fix for his invention. She reminded him of something bigger, a natural cycle of hope and renewal. And she told him he was part of that cycle. It's like a psychological reset button. After hitting rock bottom, that kind of simple, loving encouragement can reconnect you to your own strength, sometimes more powerfully than before.
And wow, did it work? He was back, but different this time, more focused. He started really studying light, mirrors, angles. He saw every failure not as an end, but as a lesson. Every setback shaped him. He wasn't just repeating himself, he was iterating, getting smarter. And then came the results. Small steps, but real. His jars started to glow brighter. And this wasn't just for him anymore. It started affecting the village. Kids gathered around amazed. Soon homes had light. Families could read at night. It literally changed their world. Darkness no longer ruled the village.
That's the crucial pivot, isn't it? From a purely personal dream to something useful for the community. He wasn't just chasing an abstract idea anymore, he was solving a real problem, lack of light. And that creates social proof. His jars weren't just weird contraptions, they were valuable tools. They worked, people could see it. That shift from just pursuing your own vision to actually serving others, that often becomes the real catalyst. You see the villagers' perception change, right? From laughing to whispering, perhaps the boy really can catch the sun. Demonstrable impact is powerful.
Absolutely. That impact started to ripple outwards. Word spread. Travelers started coming just to see these glowing jars. It wasn't just a village thing anymore. And this brought someone important, a teacher from the city. She came, she listened to Aaron explain everything, his process, his struggles, his vision. And she was amazed. And she didn't just offer sympathy. She saw something deeper. She said, you don't need a contest. You need a stage big enough for the world to see you. And she gave him a scholarship. Not charity, the text says, but from recognition. That's a whole different kind of validation.
It really is. It's what you might call organic validation. It wasn't about winning a prize based on someone else's rules. His work, the tangible impact he was having, created its own platform. The teacher saw the innovator, the problem solver, the persistence. It tells us that sometimes if you just focus on creating real value, on solving real problems, the recognition finds you, often in ways you didn't expect and maybe more meaningful than winning a contest.
So, scholarship in hand, he heads to the city. New environment, new challenges, big challenges, richer students, smarter minds, endless competition. It wasn't like he was suddenly on easy street, but he had something different driving him. Others studied from duty, maybe for grades or parental pressure. Aaron studied from hunger. That deep internal drive was still there, fueling him. Every failure made him stronger. Every setback made him sharper. He just kept learning, adapting. And the result, over time, it's incredible. The boy chasing the sun literally gave it to the world. His basic light jars evolved, became solar panels. His lamps lit up whole villages, towns, places that had been in darkness for generations. His vision, once laughed at, became a global force for change. And the story ends perfectly. They no longer called him a failure. They called him the boy who caught the sun. What an incredible arc.
It's a stunning arc. And that hunger he had in the city, that's key. It wasn't just about passing exams. It was about that core mission. It speaks to adaptive resilience, doesn't it? Thriving even when the competition is fierce. And the way his invention evolved jars to panels, that's iterative refinement on a grand scale. He didn't just stick with version 1. He kept pushing, scaling. It suggests that lasting impact isn't just about the initial breakthrough. It's about constantly learning, adapting, and finding ways to bring your solution to more people, keeping that original hunger alive.
So bringing this all back, what's the core message here for you listening? When you look at Aaron's story, it's pretty clear. He wasn't special because he was born stronger or smarter or richer. Not at all. He was special because he just refused to stop chasing. That was his engine. And maybe your dream. Maybe that's your sun. It's going to have good days and bad days. It'll rise, feel amazing. It'll fall, feel impossible. It might hide behind clouds for a while, make you doubt everything. That's not the signal to give up. That's just the weather on the journey.
Absolutely. Aaron's story shows that the chase itself, the persistence through the failures, through the darkness, that's where the real transformation happens. For you and maybe for the world around you. So maybe the final thought to leave you with is this. Thinking about Aaron, his journey from that dusty village, what hidden light, what potential solution might you be overlooking right now? What sun is waiting for you to just start chasing it, really chasing it, despite the odds? It's definitely something to ponder.